In this country, you can live like a king with just a few $100s a month in your pocket. Here, the legendary pad Thai can be delivered right to your door or bought on the street for just a couple of dollars. And the women here know the secret to making a foreigner stay for a long time. This is Thailand, a Southeast Asian country where people respectfully bow their heads before portraits of the king by day and trade in sin by night. But is this tropical paradise really as simple as it seems at first glance? Today, we will look beyond Thailand's picture-perfect tourist image and see how the locals really live, which traditions still shape their lives, and why this country continues to surprise even those who have visited it several times. Support this video with a like because you are watching the Azimuth channel. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Siamese Shield. Pride born of loss. To understand the hidden forces driving Thai society, we need to look at the map. Thailand lies at the very heart of mainland Southeast Asia, wedged between Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, and Malaysia. It is a vast and abundant land with more than 1,400 islands, 2,000 miles of coastline, and a fertile valley at its center that has long been called Asia's Golden Rice Bowl. Around 71.6 million people live here, while another 35 million tourists visit each year, spending nearly $48 billion. Tourism literally feeds this land, generating 1/10 of the country's total income. But behind this bright facade, open to the entire world, lies a historical fact that the world often forgets. Thailand, once known as Siam, is the only country in the region that was never colonized by a European empire. While Britain conquered Burma to the west and France absorbed Indochina to the east, Siam survived as a buffer zone between them. But this freedom came at a very heavy price, one that people do not like to discuss openly. King Chulalongkorn, Rama V, who ruled around the turn of the 20th century, preserved the country's sovereignty only by accepting a painful deal. To protect the heart of the nation from destruction by French warships in 1893, Siam was forced to surrender vast territories in Laos and Cambodia, piece by piece. This historical trauma shaped a unique national character. A nation that was never officially ruled by anyone else grew up with an absolute, almost fanatical belief that it belonged only to itself. This pride shows through in every gesture Thai people make. They are genuinely happy to accept your money, but deep down they believe that a foreigner will always be an outsider, a farang who will never truly belong here. You may live on an island for decades, but in the eyes of the system, you will always remain only a temporary guest whose presence is tolerated for as long as it is profitable. Chapter 2. The Kreng Mask. The Code of Polite Silence. The main stereotype tourists bring with them when they arrive in Bangkok is the famous Thai smile. They mistake it for happiness, for a carefree attitude, for endless friendliness, and that is where the misunderstanding begins. The Thai smile is not just an emotion, it is a language, a code, social armor. People use it to greet others, to apologize, to hide embarrassment, to diffuse conflict. Sometimes a person smiles at you at the very moment they actually want to give you a firm no. A foreigner sees friendliness. A Thai person reads a completely different signal. At the heart of this behavior is the concept of Kreng, a deep reluctance to inconvenience another person, make them feel uncomfortable, or cause them to lose face. In Thailand, openly expressing anger is considered bad manners. Shouting means losing control. A public confrontation is almost a form of humiliation. That is why, even in a tense situation, a person may continue to smile. Not because they are amused, but because society expects them to remain outwardly calm. And this is where the darker side of this culture begins. Constantly controlling yourself, not standing out, not disturbing the harmony, living up to expectations. This pressure is felt not only in people's behavior, it is literally written on their faces. Thailand has become a massive market for cosmetics, aesthetic medicine, and plastic surgery. Beauty here is not merely a personal choice. For many, it becomes a form of social capital. And one of the harshest standards is skin color. The lighter, the better. For decades, dark skin has been associated with hard labor under the sun, rice fields, and low social status. Light skin has been associated with wealth, office work, city life, and privilege. This has created an enormous market for skin-lightening products, creams, serums, treatments, and a promise that is sold again and again. Make your skin lighter, and you will become more successful. That is why the image of the Thai woman, so admired by the tourist world, often hides a very different reality. Beauty here may not be a gift. It may be an obligation, a daily one, an expensive one, and sometimes a painful one. Chapter 3: Buddhism and the Illusion of Universal Acceptance. In January 2025, Thailand took a historic step by recognizing marriage equality. The country of temples and ancient traditions passed this law by an overwhelming majority. It seems like the height of progress and tolerance, but the reality behind this freedom is far more complicated. Nearly 1/10 of the country's population identifies as part of the LGBTQ+ community. Schools and offices quietly make accommodations for people who express their gender in different ways. The roots of this phenomenon can be traced to Theravada Buddhism, which teaches the concept of anatta, the illusory and fluid nature of the human self. If identity is impermanent, then there is little reason to strictly control its gender expression. But this acceptance has strict limits. Thailand's famous transgender women, known as Kathy or Ladyboys, shine on the stages of Pattaya's luxurious cabarets, captivating tourists. Away from the stage, however, their lives often become an invisible struggle. For a long time, they were shut out of serious careers in government institutions, banks, and major corporations. Society often treats them with condescension. They are welcomed as colorful entertainment, but are rarely allowed into the real spheres of power and big business. Thailand has learned to sell difference as part of its national brand. Tourists see freedom, spectacle, and exotic appeal. But behind the facade remain prejudice, pressure, and problems that are far less profitable to discuss openly. Chapter 4: The Women of Thailand. How much does a bride cost, and what does the Sinsod tradition hide? While the Western world admires Thailand's freedom of gender expression, the lives of traditional biological women here are shaped by quiet, centuries-old pressure. Thai culture is still strongly influenced by the ancient custom of Sinsod, an official payment that the groom must make to the bride's family. In the past, it symbolized gratitude to the parents for raising their daughter. Today, Sinsod has become a strict marker of social status. In Bangkok, there are entire underground agencies where poor newlyweds rent huge stacks of impressive-looking banknotes and expensive cars for a single day, solely to display their wealth to relatives in wedding photographs. For foreigners, however, Sinsod often becomes an elegant form of financial extortion in which love is measured by the checkbook. But in northern Thailand, there is an even more controversial tradition. In Mae Hong Son province, tourists are taken to villages inhabited by the Kayan people, the famous giraffe women. From an early age, girls have heavy brass rings placed around their necks. More rings are added over the years. The neck itself does not actually grow longer. Instead, the weight of the rings pushes down the collarbones and the upper part of the rib cage, creating the illusion of an unusually long neck. To tourists, this looks like an ancient, exotic, and beautiful tradition. But behind the photographs lies a different reality. Many Kayan women came here from Myanmar as refugees. For a long time, their ability to work, move freely, and build a life beyond the tourist villages was severely restricted. That is why critics call these places human zoos. Tourists buy a ticket, enter the village, photograph the women, take selfies, buy souvenirs, and an ancient tradition gradually turns into a tourist attraction. This raises an uncomfortable question. Are we truly preserving another culture, or are we simply buying the right to take a closer look at it? What do you think? Share your opinion in the comments. Chapter 5. Peace Under Fear, the Mai Pen Rai, Trap and Vape Prisons. Sooner or later, every expat falls in love with the three most important words in Thai philosophy, Mai Pen Rai. It roughly translates as no big deal or forget about it. Together with the concepts of sanuk, the pursuit of joy, and sabai, a state of deep comfort and ease. This philosophy teaches people to let go of problems and not fight against what they cannot control. But for a foreigner, this very philosophy of calm may conceal a dangerous trap. Because Thai people are incredibly gentle and easygoing in everyday life, tourists may develop a false sense that anything is allowed. They begin to think that laws here are merely a formality. This misconception can cost them their freedom. The state that smiles at you on the street maintains several extremely strict boundaries, and beyond them lies a zone of zero tolerance. The clearest example is the complete ban on electronic cigarettes and vapes, which has been in effect since 2014. For the Thai police, a foreigner holding a vape is an ideal target. The law makes no exceptions for tourists. Possessing or using an electronic cigarette can result in a massive fine, starting at 30,000 baht, or an actual prison sentence of up to 10 years, followed by deportation. At the beginning of 2025, the police were reporting nearly 700 such cases every week. This gentle and accommodating country instantly turns into a ruthless bureaucratic machine the moment you cross the line of its unspoken rules. Chapter 6. Shadow Buddhism, Monks in Supercars. Religion in Thailand is not merely a matter of faith, it is woven into the fabric of everyday life. Around 90% of the population practices Buddhism. There are more than 44,000 active temples, known as Wats, across the country. Before getting married, men spend several months in a monastery to complete the formation of their character through asceticism and silence. But today, the very heart of Thai culture is facing a profound crisis that local society is discussing with growing concern. In recent years, Buddhist institutions have become entangled in a series of major corruption scandals. Local media regularly release shocking footage of young monks flying on private jets, posing with Louis Vuitton designer bags, and driving sports supercars purchased with donations from believers. Temples have turned into enormous commercial enterprises. An entire industry has flourished around the sale of merit. Wealthy Thai people donate millions of baht to cleanse their karma, while the Wats themselves actively sell supposedly sacred amulets in a market worth billions of dollars. The ancient belief in modesty and detachment from the material world is increasingly colliding with the world of big money. And this raises an uncomfortable question. Can spirituality remain spiritual when it becomes part of a business? Chapter 7. Propaganda on a Plate, the Cuisine of Survival. Thai street food is recognized as some of the best on the planet. But behind every iconic dish lies a story far removed from culinary romance. Take the famous Pad Thai noodles, which every tourist assumes are an ancient legacy passed down by generations of ancestors. In reality, this dish was literally engineered in the laboratories of state propaganda during the 1930s. Prime Minister Plaek Phibun Songkran deliberately introduced it to unite a divided society and reduce the consumption of expensive rice during an economic crisis. Pad Thai became the first symbolic dish in history, created by order from above to promote patriotism. Now, visit the night market of any Thai city. Right on the sidewalks, over hot coals, crocodiles are grilled on skewers, with their toothy heads displayed beside bowls of noodles. At the neighboring stalls, you will see piles of fried grasshoppers, silkworms, water beetles, and black scorpions. For foreigners, this is an unusual attraction and an opportunity to take a striking photograph. But for millions of people living in the northeastern region of Isan, eating insects was never a form of entertainment. It was a harsh survival strategy in the face of extreme poverty and drought in the rice fields. Insects were the only free source of protein that helped farming families survive food shortages. What is now presented to tourists as an exotic delicacy is actually a monument to the centuries of poverty endured by Thailand's rural provinces. Chapter 8. The Industry of Sin, Pattaya. When the sun finally sinks below the horizon, Bangla Road in Phuket and Soy Cowboy in Bangkok cast off their daytime restraint. But the epicenter of this neon underworld remains Pattaya, a city openly called Asia's capital of carnal pleasure. This enormous industry did not emerge on its own. It is a direct legacy of the Vietnam War. In the 1960s, Pattaya was a tiny, quiet fishing village until the American military chose it as an official destination for its soldiers to rest and recover. Within just a few years, the poor fishing community completely rebuilt its economy around serving the needs of foreign military personnel. Today, this underground sector continues to generate billions of dollars, even though many of these services have officially been illegal since 1996. This creates a paradox. On paper, the activity is against the law, but in practice, it has existed for decades and provides an income for a vast number of people. Behind the bright lights of cabarets, bars, and nightclubs lies a very different reality: debt, poverty, and a lack of choice. For some young people from the provinces, this kind of work becomes one of the few ways to support the families they left behind in their villages. Chapter 9. Cannabis in Thailand, a freedom that lasted only 3 years. In 2022, Thailand surprised all of Asia by becoming the first country in the region to dramatically relax its cannabis laws. Almost overnight, the previous restrictions changed, and thousands of specialized shops with green neon signs appeared on the streets of Bangkok and in resort areas. The new market quickly attracted tourists and entrepreneurs. But it soon became clear that this experiment was facing serious problems. The country was unprepared for the consequences of uncontrolled street sales. The number of retail outlets continued to grow, while concerns about regulation and the impact on young people sparked increasing debate. In response, the government decided to revise the rules quickly. In June 2025, the Ministry of Public Health significantly tightened market regulations. By the beginning of 2026, the unrestricted model of street sales had effectively become a thing of the past. Cannabis was placed in the category of controlled substances, and legal purchases became available primarily for medical purposes. Tourists now require a consultation with a specialist and an official prescription. Using cannabis in public places can result in serious fines. For the industry, this marked a dramatic turning point. Thousands of shops across the country were forced to choose between adapting their businesses to the new requirements or closing down. Many entrepreneurs who had invested in this market suffered serious financial losses. This story clearly shows how quickly the rules can change in Thailand, especially in areas where, until recently, the market seemed to have been given complete freedom. Chapter 10. Phuket. The paradise that became expensive. Thailand can still be affordable. But Phuket is a very different story. In Bangkok, street food often costs between 40 and 80 baht, while an ordinary local dish in Phuket costs around 70 to 120 baht. In tourist areas such as Patong, Kata, and Bang Tao, the same dinner can easily cost between 150 and 250 baht, while a burger or pizza will cost between 300 and 500 baht. The difference is even more noticeable when it comes to accommodations. A basic room in Phuket starts at around 500 to 900 baht per night. A good 3-star hotel costs between 1,200 and 2,500 baht, and a 4-star resort costs between 3,500 and 6,000 baht. During the high season, from November through March, prices usually rise even higher. After 2022, the Russian-speaking community became especially visible on the island, with Russian restaurants, schools, services, and signs appearing across Phuket. But what matters more to tourists is that Phuket is now one of Thailand's most expensive resorts. So here's a simple tip. If you want to save money, stay farther away from the beachfront, eat where the locals eat, and consider Phuket town more often. Renting a scooter usually costs around 200 to 350 baht per day, while a ride with Grab costs approximately 100 to 300 baht. A budget traveler should plan to spend around 1,000 to 1,800 baht per day, while a mid-range level of comfort will cost between 2,500 and 4,500 baht, excluding airfare. Most importantly, do not judge prices across Thailand by Phuket. Sometimes, all it takes is traveling a few miles away from the beach, and it feels as though you have entered another country with completely different prices. Songkran, the day Thailand begins again. To understand the true essence of Thailand, the invisible force that keeps this complex world from falling apart, you need to see what happens in the middle of April. During these days, the entire nation takes to the streets to celebrate Songkran, the Thai New Year. The celebration begins as a quiet, deeply intimate family ritual. Children gently pour clean water over the hands of their parents and elders, washing away the hardships of the passing year and asking for blessings for the year ahead. But within an hour, this peaceful ritual spills onto the streets and transforms into the wildest and largest water fight on the planet. Millions of people, locals, monks, and tourists, indiscriminately soak one another with buckets and water cannons, surrendering to pure, childlike joy. In 2023, UNESCO officially added Songkran to its list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. For Thai people, this water is not merely part of a game. It is a metaphor for purification. It is a way to wash away every sin, resentment, unspoken grievance, and the heavy burden of life they are forced to carry on their shoulders throughout the year. This is where the two Thailands come together: golden temples and neon streets, Buddhist faith and nightlife. Thai people do not try to choose one over the other. They simply accept that life is made up of contradictions. Most of us are used to hiding our inner contradictions in separate rooms, ashamed of our darker sides. Thailand has simply left the doors between those rooms open. This country could never fit on a tourist postcard. But if you look deeper, you will understand that the eternal, elusive smile on a Thai person's face was never hiding anything. The smile itself was the ultimate answer. If you want to continue discovering the true, uncensored side of countries around the world, subscribe to the Azimuth channel and like this video. Your support means a great deal to us. See you in the next episode.